In the battle against coronavirus, humanity lacks leadership by Noah Harari. Many people blame the coronavirus pandemic on globalization and say that the only way to protect more such outbreak is to deglobalize the world, build walls, restrict travel, reduce trade. However, while short-term quarantine is essential to stop pandemic, long-term isolation will lead to economic collapse without offering any real protection against infectious disease. Just the opposite. The real antidote to pandemic is not segregation but rather cooperation. Epidemics killed millions of people long before the current age of globalization. In the 14th century, there were no aeroplanes and cruise ships, and yet the Black Death spread from East Asia to Western Europe in little more than a decade. It killed between 75 million and 200 million people, more than a quarter of population of Eurasia. In England, 4 out of 10 people died. The city of Florence lost 50,000 of its 100,000 inhabitants. In March 1520, a single smallpox carrier landed in Mexico. At that time, Central America had no trains, buses, or even donkeys. Yet, by December, a smallpox epidemic devastated the whole of Central America, killing, according to some estimates, up to a third of its population. Despite horrendous outbreaks such as AIDS and Ebola in the 21st century, epidemics kill a far small proportion of humans than in any previous time since the Stone Age. This is because the best defense humans have against pathogens is not isolation, it is information. Humanity has been winning the war against epidemics because in the arms race between pathogens and doctors, pathogens rely on blind mutation while doctors rely on the scientific analysis of information. When the Black Death struck in the 14th century, people had no idea what causes it and what could be done about it. Until the modern era, humans usually blame diseases on angry gods, malicious demons, or bad air, and did not even suspect the existence of bacteria and viruses. People believed in angels and fairies, but they could not imagine that a single drop of water might contain an entire armada of deadly predators. Therefore, when the Black Death or smallpox came to visit, the best thing the authorities could think of doing was organizing mass prayers to various gods and saints. It did not help. Indeed, when people gathered for mass prayers, it often caused mass infections. While medieval people never discovered what caused the Black Death, it took scientists just 2 weeks to identify the novel coronavirus, sequence its genome, and develop a reliable test to identify infected people. What does this history teach us for the current coronavirus epidemic? First, it implies that you cannot protect yourself by permanently closing your borders. Remember that epidemics spread rapidly even in the Middle Ages, long before the age of globalization. So, even if you reduce your global connections to the level of England in 1348, that still would not be enough. To really protect yourself through isolation, going medieval won't do. You would have to go full Stone Age. Can you do that? Secondly, history indicates that the real protection comes from the sharing of reliable scientific information and from global solidarity. When one country is struck by an epidemic, it should be willing to honestly share of information about the outbreak without fear of economic catastrophe, while other countries should be able to trust that information and should be willing to extend a helping hand rather than ostracize the victim. Today, China can teach countries all over the world many important lessons about coronavirus, but that demands a high level of international trust and cooperation. Viruses like the corona originate in animals such as bats. In the 1970s, humanity managed to defeat the smallpox virus because all people in all countries were vaccinated against smallpox. Today, humanity faces an acute crisis, not only due to the coronavirus but also due to the lack of trust between humans. To defeat an epidemic, people need to trust scientific experts, citizens need to trust public authorities, and countries need to trust each other. Over the last few years, irresponsible politicians have deliberately undermined trust in science, in public authorities, and in international cooperation. As a result, we are now facing the crisis of global leadership. If this epidemic results in greater disunity and mistrust among humans, it will be the virus' greatest victory. In contrast, if the epidemic results in closer global cooperation, it will be a victory not only against the coronavirus but against all future pathogens.